think you got so much in control. That woman can do anything. Old man told me one time, he said, son, one thing about this, you just hope your wife will do the right thing. That's the only thing you do. You can't keep up with her. You can't be there all the time. You can't. So therefore, you need to find the right wife. Because if you don't find the right wife, you ain't gonna be able to work.
That's right.
You ain't. You're gonna be about to lose your job, running home, different times, trying to find out she got somebody at the house. I done seen you guys do this stuff. Go ahead.
21.
Mm-hmm.
With her much fast speech, she caused him to yield. With the flattery in her lips, she forced him.
You know how some people, they got this accent. People fall for this British accent. She fall, what did it say, read that again?
With her much fair speech,
Yes.
she caused him to yield.
Yield. He can't even move because she talking.
With the flattery in her lips, she forced him.
She forced him. Now she ain't got to put her hand on. She didn't put her hand on. She forced him with the words. I just can't control myself, baby. Own her. Because of what she was talking. Man, I'm telling you, it might be funny, but this stuff real. This stuff real, boy. You got some real players out there. I ain't talking about no men now. I ain't talking about no men. He can't study the game. Go ahead.
He goeth after her straightway, as an ox goeth to the slaughter.
He don't even know he about to die. An ox, when you take an ox to the slaughter, he don't even know you're going into that little room to get the head chopped off or get the throat slit. This is what's gonna happen to this boy. Go ahead.
Or as a food to the correction of the stocks.
Just a fool. He don't even understand what's going on. Go ahead.
Till a dart strike through his liver, as a bird hastens to the snare, and knoweth not that it is for his life.
He don't even understand. You in this man's house, he can come back anytime. Anytime. He can cancel a trip and be back home. She think he's going on. And he can run up on him. Too many people ran up on him and stayed there till the law came back. Yeah, I killed him, he was in my house. Go ahead.
24.
Uh-huh.
Hearken unto me now, therefore, O ye children, and attend to the words of my mouth.
Listen. Go ahead.
Let not thine heart decline to her ways. Go not astray in her paths.
He said, let not your heart decline to her ways. God is telling you her ways right here in the scriptures. Heart meaning your mind. Don't let this thing go past you. Like, oh, it won't happen to me. I'm too good for that. Okay. Okay. We read about them all the time getting killed. And getting dead in. Go look at the media. Go look on TV. Go research ID channel. Go ahead.
For she has cast down many wounded.
You ain't the first. You just the first that got caught. Go ahead.
Yea, many strong men have been slain by her.
Many have been slain by her. Go ahead.
Her house is the way to hell, going down to the chambers of death.
Her house is the way to hell. This strange woman who got all this stuff dicked out for you. You got to make sure that you don't fall for this, man. Make sure. And women, you got to make sure that this don't line up with your life. You got to. Now let's go to Judges. Judges chapter 13. Let me give you an example of a man who lost it all, dealing with strange women. We got some good food here today, y'all.
Yes.
Believe me, don't think it just cut you, it cut me too. Cut everybody. Especially the ones they're thinking about marriage, or they're thinking about finding a spouse. You need to know this. You need to know this. Everybody need to know this. You need to know this for your kids so you can teach them, so you can see the sign for yourself. Boy, you better leave that girl alone. You need to know this. No, they ain't the one. It used to puzzle me a lot of time when the older generation, he said, man, I need to see her family. I need to see their people. I'm like, why you got to see their people? It's her. I say, as the mother is, so as the father. Same as the father now. He learned something. The apple don't fall too far from the tree. They don't fall too far. You need to see how they cohabitate with their family, how they deal with their mom and dad. You need to see that. Because if you don't see that, you ain't gonna see nothing about the falseness of it or her. You ain't gonna see it. Let's look at this man, Samson. Samson. Man had strength from God. But he had strength and not a lot of guidance. Judges chapter 13, verse 1. Go ahead.
And the children of Israel did evil again in the sight of the Lord. And the Lord delivered them into the hand of the Philistines 40 years.
See, the Israelites was in the hand of the Philistines or the Africans for 40 years. But God promised them something. Go ahead.
And there was a certain man of Zorah, of the family of Danites, whose name was Manoah, and her wife was barren and bare not.
So Zorah had a wife named Manoah who wasn't barren. She couldn't have kids. But the Lord heard her. Go ahead.
And the angel of the Lord appeared unto the woman and said unto her, Behold now, thou barren, and bearest not, but thou shalt conceive and bear a son.
The angel tells her, you're going to have a son. You know that you were barren, you couldn't have kids all the year, but you're going to have a son. But the son going to be used for the Lord. Go ahead.
Now, therefore, beware, I pray thee, and drink not wine nor strong drink, and eat not any unclean thing.
He said, when you have this boy, you don't believe no unclean thing, no wine or nothing, because he's going to be a Nazarite. Go ahead.
For lo, thou shalt conceive and bear a son, and no razor shall come on his head, for the child shall be a Nazarite unto God from the womb. And he shall begin to deliver Israel out of the hand of the Philistines.
This is what God said Samson's going to be. He don't cut his hair. He don't drink no wine. You don't drink no wine while he's in your womb. You don't eat no unclean thing because he's going to be a Nazarite. And he's going to deliver your people from the Philistines. Jump down to verse 24. We can't go into the whole story. We'll just get to the meat of the matter. Go ahead.
And the woman bare a son and called his name Samson. And the child grew, and the Lord blessed him.
Samson, the child grew, and the Lord blessed him. Let's see how he blessed him. He blessed him with strength. He was very strong. No one was stronger than Samson. All these little Greek gods like Hercules and all that stuff, they get this from Samson. He's the man that had the strength. Judges chapter 14 and 1. Go ahead.
And Samson went down to Timnath and saw a woman in Timnath of the daughters of the Philistines.
So Samson went down, he looking at this woman that he wanted to marry, which is a Philistine, which is an African. Go ahead.
And he came up and told his father and his mother and said, I have seen a woman in Timnath of the daughters of the Philistines. Now therefore, get her for me to wife. Then his father and his mother said unto him, Is there never a woman among the daughters of thy brethren?
You're like, hold on, Samson, find an Israelite to marry. But you want to marry a Philistine outside the nation of Israel. But God had a hand in this. Go ahead.
Among all my people that thou goest to take a wife of the uncircumcised Philistine.
He said, all these people, you see all the Israelites, you take a wife of these uncircumcised Philistines. Why do he say uncircumcised? Because the covenant, first covenant of Israel is all the male child supposed to be circumcised. That's the covenant that God recognizes people. Go ahead.
And Samson said unto his father, Get her for me, for she pleases me well.
So you got to be careful, Samson, with all that strength you have. Go ahead.
But his father and his mother knew not that it was of the Lord.
See, the Lord had a plan in this. He making sure, he said that this son was going to deliver Israel from these Philistines. Go ahead.
That he sought an occasion against the Philistines. For at that time the Philistine had dominion over Israel.
They were ruling Israel. Go ahead.
Then went Samson down, and his father and his mother, to Timnath, and came to the vineyards of Timnath. And behold, a young lion roared against him. And the Spirit of the Lord came mightily upon him, and he rent him as he would rent a kid. And he had nothing in his hand, but he told not his father or his mother what he had done.
This when Samson recognized he had that strength. He killed a lion with his hands. You understand how big a lion is? You understand how vicious a lion is? This man went up on the lion and just ripped him to pieces. Go ahead.
Verse 7, and he went down and talked with the woman, and she pleased Samson well.
See, Samson, he liked to be pleased by women, as most men. But with great strength, you got to make sure you're choosing the right man. It's not just talking about Samson per se. You need women, you need to understand when a man got great power, you better make sure you do the right thing. And Samson had a lot of great power. But Samson started messing up. Go ahead.
And after a time he returned to take her. And he turned aside to see the carcass of the lion. And behold, there was a swarm of bees and honey in the carcasses of the lion.
What did God tell Samson? Don't eat no unclean thing. Don't touch nothing unclean. Anytime anything that touches the unclean special food, all of us polluted. So he got this honeycomb and he started eating this honey. And once he was eating this honey, he gave some to his father and mother. But he didn't tell them where he got it from. He knew the law of God about himself. Don't eat nothing unclean. This is when Samson started messing up. Jump down to verse 10. Go ahead.
So his father went down unto the woman, and Samson made there a feast, for so used the young men to do. And it came to pass, when they saw him, that they brought 30 companions to be with him.
Now Samson made a feast to him and his wife. He brought 30 companions with him. And Samson going to tell a riddle. Only him, only he knew it, and his wife. But go ahead.
And Samson said unto them, I will now put forth a riddle unto you. If you can certainly declare it me within the 7 days of the feast and find it out, then I will give you 30 sheets and 30 change of garments.
Go ahead.
But if you cannot declare it me, then shall ye give me 30 sheets and 30 change of garments. And they said unto him, put forth thy riddle, that we may hear it.
So, okay, that's a bet. Put forth the riddle. Go ahead.
And he said unto them, out of the eater came forth meat, and out of the strong came forth sweetness. And they could not in 3 days expound the riddle. And it came to pass on the 7th day that they said unto Samson's wife, entice thy husband, that he may declare unto us the riddle, lest we burn thee and thy father's house with fire. Have ye called us to take that we have? Is it not so?
See, he told her, first thing he does, he goes to that woman and try to make her turn on her husband. When you married to somebody, you don't do that. But God told, mother and father told him not to take this wife from the Philistine. First thing they go to the wife. Now, women, you got to pay close attention to this. Somebody come to you go take it to your husband and tell him what they said. Don't hold that. I don't care if your mom. I don't care if your dad or whatever. Don't hold it. This is the choosing. When you choose this husband, when you choose this wife, you loyal to them. Don't go talking behind their back. He said out a riddle to them. He said out a bet to them. This is what they chose to do. But they're going to go to her and try to get what the riddle is. Go ahead.
And Samson's wife wept before him and said, thou doest but hate me.
Hold up. Samson's wife wept. They go there crying. Don't fall for that. A lot of men tell me, oh man, I can't stand the women here. Hear women cry. I give them anything they cry. And they know that. And they know it. So her people already got to her and they said, look, hey man, you gotta get this man to tell us the real so we can win this bet. So she started crying to Samson. Go ahead.
Thou doest but hate me, and loveth me not. Thou hast put forth a riddle unto the children of my people,
Yes, sir.
and hast not told it me. And he said unto her, Behold, I have not told it my father nor my mother, and shall I tell it thee?
He said, I ain't told it to nobody, but she pressed upon him. One thing about a wife, she can get stuff out of her when she knows the button to push. She knows the buttons to push. But she pushing the wrong buttons. She going against her husband. Go ahead.
And she wept before him the 7 days, the 7 days, while their feast lasted. And it came to pass on the 7th day that he told her, because she lay sore upon him, and she told the riddle to the children of her people.
She lay on him 7 days. She was, out there, power around the house. So he said, okay, I'm going to tell you. He ain't thinking that she going to turn on him. Go ahead.
And the men of the city said unto him on the 7th day before the sun went down,
So they're going to tell them the answer to the riddle. Go ahead.
What is sweetening than honey? And what is stronger than a lion? And he said unto them.
So they answered it, but Samson's going to say, hold up, man, how you know this? Only I knew this and my wife. And listen what he said.
If ye had not plowed with my heifer, ye had not found out my riddle.
So he called his wife a heifer. If you ain't mess with my heifer, my wife, you wouldn't even find this out. How did you get this information? Only me and her knew this. So women, make sure you pay close attention to this. Don't turn like that. And this pissed Samson off. And when a man with power get pissed off, he go destroying stuff. Go ahead.
And the Spirit of the Lord came upon him, and he went down to Askelon, and slew 30 men of them.
When he said the Spirit of the Lord came on, meaning the strength. He got strength from God. Samson was stronger than 10 men. He had very great strength. He went down there and slew 30 men. This man was out of control for a minute. Go ahead.
And took their spoil, gave change of garments unto them which expounded the riddle. And his anger was kindled, and he went up to his father's house. But
So Samson went down there and took their spoil. He said, okay, I'm going to pay you. I'm going to pay you with your stuff. He took all their stuff. He said, I'm going to pay you your garments that you wanted, because I know what you did. Go ahead.
But Samson's wife was given to his companion, whom he had used as his friend.
So his father gave her to another man. This really pissed Samson off. Go ahead, but jump down to chapter 15, verse 1.
But it came to pass within a while after, in the time of wheat harvest,
Yes, sir.
that Samson visited his wife with a kid. And he said, I will go in to my wife into the chamber. But her father would not suffer him to go in.
He said, no, Samson, she ain't your wife no more now. I gave her away. Go ahead.
And her father said, I verily thought that thou hast utterly hated her. Therefore I gave her to thy companion. Is not her younger sister fairer than she? Take her, I pray thee, instead of her.
He said, Samson, I already gave her away to your companion. But I got another daughter. Man, I don't want no other. That's my wife. That's my wife. Go ahead.
And Samson said concerning them, Now shall I be more blameless than the Philistine, though I do them a displeasure.
He said, man, bring the pain. Go ahead.
And Samson went and caught 300 foxes, and took firebrands, and turned tail to tail. Put a firebrand in the midst between two tails. And when he had set the brand on fire, he let them go down into the standing corn of the Philistine, and burn up both the shock and also the standing corn with the vineyard and olives.
So you understand, he took them foxes and got their tails and tied a fire brand on them. Meaning that he got a line with some type of coal, like charcoal, and fire, and gave him fire. They ran through the field, and they set the whole field on fire. You understand? These people, when they eat corn, that's expensive. Destroyed it all. Samson didn't care. Like, whatever, y'all did me wrong, I'm gonna show you how bad I can be. Go ahead, verse 6. Go ahead.
Then the Philistines said, who has done this? And they answered, Samson, the son-in-law of the Timnite, because he had taken his wife, given her to his companion. And the Philistine came up and burnt her and her father with fire.
Ooh, that's a whole family dealt with. Burn her father and her mother fire. They found out who done it when they killed him. Go ahead.
And Samson said unto them, though ye have done this, yet will I be avenged of you, and after that I will cease.
Go ahead.
And he smote them hip and thigh with a great slaughter. And he went down and dwelt in the top of the rock Etam.
He tell him, man, he killed a lot of people. He went down there and dwelt in the rock because of what? The betrayal of his wife. Women, you got to understand this. And men, you got to understand with great power, man, you can't get out of control like this. Even though the Lord had a hand in this. Now, don't get it twisted. Because he did this for Israel. He won't destroy them Philistines. But I'm just using this as an example to you. Do what you're supposed to do as a husband and as a wife. Because with great power, believe me, comes great patience. And you got to understand, you can't come run to your husband, oh, he said this and me, this and that. You know that you're a fool? No. You need to find a different way. Come easy. Jump down to verse 13. Go ahead.
And they spake unto him, saying, no, but we will bind thee fast and deliver thee into their hand. But surely we will not kill thee. And they bound him with 2 new cords and brought him up from the rock.
So these Philistines, when they talked to Judah, and they said, look, man, this man is destroying everything we got. We can't read it all, destroying everything we got. We got to do something. Y'all got to turn them in. But Samson wanted to be caught. He wanted to be caught. So they bound him up and they took him to him. Go ahead.
And when he came unto Lehi, the Philistines shouted against him, and the Spirit of the Lord came mightily upon him.
The strength came mightily upon him. Go ahead.
And the cords that were upon his arms became as flat.
So they had it tied up. And they thought they had it, bound it up. Something just broke through that thing like what? Look what he had. What happened? Go ahead.
That was burnt with fire, and his bands loosed from off his hands.
Something burst through there. Go ahead.
And he found a new jawbone of an ass, put forth his hand and took it, slew 1,000 men therewith.
This joke wasn't nothing to play with. He killed 1,000 men with a jawbone. A jawbone of a donkey. He killed 1,000 men. This is what you're dealing with. And I'm showing it as a marriage thing, how Samson chose the wrong woman now. He really chose the wrong woman. And then also how she betrayed him. Some people can't take that betrayal lightly. Money, whatever, won't get them to calm down. He going for whatever. He going for it all. But Phyllis ain't seen something. Let's go to Judges chapter 16, verse 1. They started looking at Samson. They found his weakness. Samson's weakness is dealing with them hoes. Verse 16, verse 1. Judges 16, verse 1. Go ahead.
Then went Samson to Gaza, and saw there an harlot, and went in unto her.
There you go. We saw a hoe, went in and had sex with her right there. Samson loved him. Go ahead.
And it was told the Gazites, saying, Samson is come hither. And they compassed him in, and laid wait for him all night in the gate of the city, and were quiet all the night, saying, in the morning when it is day, we shall kill him.
Yeah, right. Samson like, okay, y'all lay wait. He heard this. Go ahead.
And Samson lay till midnight, and arose at midnight, and took the door of the gate of the city.
This gentleman took the gates off the door of the city. Do you understand how heavy those gates are? He took them off and carried them on his shoulder. Go ahead.
And the 2 posts, and went away with them, bar and all, and put them upon his shoulder, and carried them up to the top of an hill that is before Hebron.
So Samson snatched them gates off. Man, this is what's going down right here. Now they got to find out how we going to control this man. And man, you got to pay close attention to this now. Go ahead.
And it came to pass afterwards that he loved a woman in the valley of Sorek, whose name was Delilah.
Yeah, there she go. They knew he loved this woman now. They're going to come down with some money. Like, man, we got to find a way to find out where his strength is. We got to find it. So they're going to use a woman, a whore, to find it. Man always weak for a woman in some way or form or fashion. Go ahead.
And the lords of the Philistines came up unto her, and said unto her, entice him.
See what I'm saying? They came up to say, entice him. Try to find out what makes him so strong. We need to know this. Go ahead.
Entice him, and see wherein his great strength lies, and by what means we may prevail against him,
Yes, sir.
that we may bind him to afflict him. And we will give thee every one of us 1,100 pieces of silver.
So she turned him out for some money. For some money. Go ahead.
And Delilah said to Samson, tell me, I pray thee, wherein thy great strength lieth, and wherewith thy mightest be bound to afflict thee.
You know, Samson played the game for a minute. He listened to and told him some stuff. Go ahead.
And Samson said unto her, if they bind me with 7 green withers that were never dry,
7 green whips.
then shall I be weak and be as another man.
So they bind him with these whips, and he gonna be weak. He just told her that. To see whatever. See what she gonna do. Go ahead.
Then the lords of the Philistines brought up to her 7 green whips, which had not been dried, and she bound him with them. Now there were men lying in wait, abiding with her in the chamber. And she said unto him, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he brake the whips as a thread of tow is broken